trend that the movie production companies and TVs want to go with 3D. Who wants to wear glasses at home or at the movie theater? There's no need for this. Enough of that. Let's go on and review The Green Hornet. This movie was decent, but what pisses me off is that it was in 3D. Now this really pisses me off because there was no need for it at all. This movie would have been fine in 2D, and I think it would have actually been better. So this movie is about Britt Reed, and his father dies in this movie, who is the head of a huge newspaper company. So he's gonna have to take the reins over. So when Britt Reed's father dies, he decides to fire everybody. But what happens is that he wakes up and his coffee's not the same. It tastes terrible. So he rehires one guy named Kato. And what happens is this guy is like a mechanic, and he's very good with his hands, and he makes a lot of things. So he thinks this guy can be pretty useful. So of course Britt Reed, who didn't like his father, because his father was mean to him always when he was a kid and everything, they made a statue of his father, so they decide, let's rip it off. And what happens is they do that, but they see somebody in trouble, so they try to help him. So after that, they get an idea, yo, let's be superheroes, but let's pose as the villains, so the villains don't know we're the superheroes, so that way we can get closer to them and get rid of them. I love the concept of this movie because it's more original than any other superhero movie in the way that they're not the good guys. They do bad things, but the bad guys are really pissed off because they think that the Green Hornet is trying to take over the city, but meanwhile the Green Hornet is trying to stop them. So without spoiling any more of this movie, I'm going to tell you that Seth Rogen was great in this film. He was just like himself. Like if it was Superbad or Pineapple Express, it's like those type of roles. He plays the same type of character all the time, but he does a great job. It's hilarious. And Jay Chow, or the guy from Harold and Kumar, he's pretty funny in this movie too. Really good. And I love James Franco, although he's not in this movie that much. He's probably like in one scene, but he's hilarious when he's in there. Christoph Waltz was pretty good as the villain. I mean, he's already won an Academy Award, so he is a pretty good actor. But I think they wasted his talents on this movie because he's a good actor, but they didn't make his lines that great. But he still did a good job. Now I'm going to talk about what sucked about this movie. And I already mentioned this, and I know I mentioned this a lot, but 3D, what were they thinking? This movie was just put in for 3D just to make more money because it was 2D and then they just threw in 3D at the last second. Like, it was not needed at all in this movie. There was only like 2 or 3 scenes where things actually came out to you. The 3D was total garbage in this movie. Another thing I don't like about this movie is there is major plot holes. And I'm only going to tell you one plot hole because if I told you so many, it would ruin it and spoil it. This one is not that much of a spoiler, but Kato's vision, how does it work? How does he get the power? Like, he sees things happening when someone's about to use a weapon or attack somebody. He sees it before it happens, but they never explain how he got this power. Another thing I didn't like about this movie was Karen Diaz, because her character was just so annoying. Like, I swear, I just wanted to beat her up. That's how annoying she is. The reason she's annoying is that because she keeps on turning down Britt Reed's character no matter how nice he is to her, and she doesn't do anything with Chow, so it's just annoying, you know? She just doesn't know what she wants or something. I don't know, she plays hard to get, but she's not even that hot, so it's so weird. So now it's time to rate this movie. This is my favorite time, always, like I said before in all my other reviews. I'm gonna give this movie a 7 out of 10. It was still pretty funny, but it just messed up a lot with the plot holes and the 3D. And I know I bitch a lot about 3D, but it is really annoying. In New York City, 3D is $17.50, while an average movie, a regular movie, is $13 or even $12.50. So you're paying about $4 to $5 more for 3D, and it's not worth it. Now, if you like Seth Rogen movies, I will recommend for you to watch this. If you like comedies, it's still pretty funny. It's a nice concept, like I said before. It's just, I don't think it's worth the extra money for the 3D. So if you can watch this in 2D, go ahead. I wish I did that, but I really couldn't find any movie theaters that were playing it in 2D. But there are some movie theaters that are like, no, we won't show it in 3D. So watch that and subscribe.